Hello, my name is Lorena. My presentation introduces my research, which examines how economic strain and time control shape people's sense of autonomy in everyday life. My study asks a simple question: how free do people actually feel in their daily lives? Rather than treating freedom as an abstract idea, I examine autonomy as a lived experience shaped by social and economic conditions. The focus of my research is perceived autonomy, meaning a person's sense of control over their time, decisions, and life direction. Instead of viewing autonomy as a personality trait, this study treats it as something shaped by structural pressures. Sociological theory challenges the idea that freedom is purely individual. Karl Marx argued that people may feel legally free, yet constrained by the need to survive. Choices appear available, but they are shaped by economic necessity. This study extends that insight by examining how financial pressure shapes lived autonomy today. Research shows that economic insecurity reduces people's sense of control. Financial strain limits options and increases stress, while time scarcity and unpredictable schedules reduce autonomy even among employed individuals. Rather than treating autonomy as a psychological factor, my study examines it as a social outcome shaped by structural conditions. So my research question is, to what extent does economic strain and time or schedule constraints influence perceived autonomy in everyday life? This study examines two structural factors. Economic strain reflects financial pressure and insecurity that narrow choices and increase dependence on external demands. Time and schedule constraints reflect control over time, a critical resource. Unpredictable schedules and time pressure limit planning boundaries and personal life. The outcome is perceived autonomy, a person's sense of control over daily life and meaningful choices. I expect that higher economic strain and greater time constraints will be associated with lower perceived autonomy, and together these pressures will help explain differences in how much control people feel they have. My project draws on Marx, Weber, and Gramsci. Marx distinguished between formal freedom and material constraint. Weber showed how discipline and productivity become internalized expectations, and Gramsci's control of hegemony explains how systems of constraint come to feel normal and natural. Together, these perspectives help explain why limited autonomy is often accepted as simply the way life works. So my study uses a quantitative survey with scaled questions measuring economic strain, time constraint, and perceived autonomy. Statistical analysis will examine how these pressures predict differences in autonomy. Ultimately, this research challenges purely individual explanations of freedom. It highlights how labor structures and time demands shape everyday experience and shows that autonomy is socially structured rather than evenly distributed. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I am a senior graduating this semester, and I'm actually a sociology minor, not a major. I had to petition to get into this class, so I am unable to actually produce my survey and analyze my data, but I have proposed my research as a proposal, and I am happy to share it with everyone. Thank you for your time again.